Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and more importantly, welcome back to a new episode of this dark build. If you haven't already subscribed and you've been enjoying this content and or getting some useful tips, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and also like this video. Once you do that, we can get into the build.
Okay, so what I'm working on is this right here. I've got this section boxed out. Scarlett's getting the door panels for these two doors, as well as the side door done. That's what's happening. This is one of the slower days, in my opinion, progress-wise, because it's very difficult to see as stuff happens. But here is kind of the box unit we've got going on. None of this is going to be visible, none of this metal back here, so it'll kind of cut across right there. And then same thing over here. I also fabric wrapped around this door because when we come off, I want it to kind of flow with the ceiling down, and this looks a lot nicer than the little exposed metal beam down there. And then this is my least favorite spot on the ProMaster, so we'll probably do what we did last time, and I may actually wrap it in this same fabric because that flows pretty darn well right there. I believe Scarlett has been hard at work over here, and she has all these sanded down on the ends, which looks a lot better than just the flat cuts. And she's also got all of the door panels cut out, so the beams will go on here wrapped in fabric, same as the ceiling, and those will fit up to the doors. Alright, so what I have done here is taken the windows and basically framed out window boxes, so that when we cut our walls and everything, we can cut them around the windows, and this will kind of all be a little bit cleaned up compared to what it would be if we did not do that. So you basically scribe out the curvature, and then the top and bottom pieces are determined based on the width that you end up with on the top and the bottom. So that's that, and now I think I'm going to work on this big panel for this door. We just put the wall panel in, and obviously this is a very specific cut. You need to be right on with this cut, otherwise it's not going to work. So what we did is leave the window opened, and then now we can take this and trace out around the little box we made earlier, and we should have a perfect window cut out.
Has he told you about the track saw in this build episode?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't think I've talked about the track saw at all
In this build.
If you guys know what it is, the track saw is where it's at. I'll take you through that here in a second. If you're not familiar, we have the Makita track saw, but there are a few different variations. Basically, the idea is that you can lay this track down, and it's also a plunge saw, so you can actually drop it into whatever cut you're making. So it's great for stuff like this, where I'm going to cut out this window and I need 4 very, very straight lines. So this thing is really a game changer, definitely a valuable tool to have, and we've used this all the time on this build. They are around $400 or $500, so they're fairly expensive. But if you guys are interested in them, I highly, highly recommend them, and you'll see us use them all the time. Use this one all the time around here. And we have it linked down below if you guys would like to pick one up.
He's pretty impressed with himself over this window panel, and I gotta say, it is pretty impressive. Took you
Look at that boy.
all of like an hour to do this.
Yeah, it blew my mind. It honestly blew my mind. I thought this was gonna take all day.
Yeah, you were putting this one off, and look how easy it was.
The other thing I got done today was this back section right here. So it's all trimmed up. Nice and pretty. Thin little piece of flat trim up there just to get that contour correct. And other than that, this is a really interesting one. It kind of came down. A lot of the angles converging right here, but came out pretty good. What'd you do? Show me what you did.
These panels.
Scar's been working on these big, the door panels here. Look at that beauty. And then Scarlett's panel that she has been working on all day is going to go down here.
Why do you say all day like that, huh?
We got 2 or 3 down.
2 of 3. I got 3 of 3. Third one's over there.
Oh, 3 of 3. There we go. All right, that about wraps up day 6 for us.
Day 6.
Day 6?
Day 5.
No, it's day 6 today. Yesterday was day 5. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That wraps up day 6 for us. It's been pretty good. We've got some more tedious stuff done today and are making pretty good time. I think the walls are going up tomorrow, as well as just finishing out the trim and the ceiling portion. So we'll catch you tomorrow.
For day 7.
1 week.
Oh,
One
yeah.
week in. Yeah. Pretty
Wow.
crazy. It feels like months.
It does.
So we'll see you tomorrow, day 7.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to day 7 of the build. We are officially a week in, and we're making good time. I know we said we were going to get to our walls yesterday. That didn't happen, so that's what we're going to do today. My beautiful panels were also neglected by someone, so we're going to install those on our doors, and yeah, ready to get going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you guys are confused about any aspect of this build, if you feel like we're not showing it in very great detail, it's most likely because we did it exactly the way we're doing it in our last build series. So we would recommend going back and watching that build series first and then coming back around to this one if you're confused or a little lost, because we don't want to be redundant. So if we're not like showing something super well, it's probably because of that.
Yeah, we like recognize that a lot of you guys are new to the channel, and we definitely appreciate the activity and everything. It's kind of like a weird thing for us because we also release these videos about a month after we actually film them. So it's like we've already done this. By the time you're watching this, the van is already finished and everything. So it's just kind of like a weird process of trying to figure out how much we need to film, how much we need to cover. So if the last few days have been a little weird, it's because most of what we've done has been covered in a previous build and previous episodes. However, we're now kind of entering into kind of a new realm, and I'm going to take you guys through a lot of the cabinetry we do, which is hopefully a couple days from now or so. So let's get these panels done. If you guys are wondering what we space with, we just use our plywood.
Sorry for being MIA today. I'm sure you've seen the time-lapse footage, so you know that we're getting these walls done. Keeping with the theme of this build, everything has been slightly more complicated than we thought, but it's coming along, and these are looking good. I'm in the thick of it now with my favorite longtime friend, the wood filler. This was really fun. That was super fun. And then we had to do it again there. How do you feel about this build, baby?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. So one of the reasons I think this build has been a little bit more complicated than past builds is we're really doing as much as we can to like kind of clean up the metal areas. You know, to transition that onto the wall, everything needs to be really nice and buttoned up. So that's kind of the reason for some of these complications that we are now facing. This one is done. We had to drill this hole to install our outlet right here. There will be another outlet kind of mirroring that on the other side. And then obviously there's a window right here that you can't see right now. So we've already traced that out and everything. So I need to go make these cuts once I have this wall buttoned up. The upper cabinets will go right here. And one of the things we found super helpful in our last build was having exposed beams like this that we could see and use as mounting points when we do the upper cabinets. Additionally, like, there really is no sense in putting more weight here only than to add cabinets on top of it. That's what's happening. It's looking, we're entering the like really weird looking stage where everything looks half finished and stuff, but we're actually a bit farther along than it looks like we are here just because of that stuff. So stay tuned.
So this is our window that we traced out when we kind of semi-permanently mounted this wall. We just pulled it off. Now we're gonna cut our window out with
Track saw.
track saw.
So since the track saw is a circular blade like this, you can never actually get all the way into your corners, because if you do, you'll kind of tear through the back of the wood and it won't look good from the front. And then we gotta jigsaw out each little corner.
There it is.
A little weight reduction there. Oh, buddy. Okay, so look past everything and start to see
everything.
start to see what's happening in here. So I know it is confusing. We have like the whole final vision in our minds, so we can kind of rationalize doing it this way.
Hey, you guys can go watch the van tour, and then you'll already have the vision.
Yeah, if you want to see kind of how all this ends up, check out the van tour. Pretty sweet. And then this one obviously is going to have the kitchen unit in front of it. So the countertop's going to come up hopefully about flush with this right here. For now, this is where we're at. This is what we got. We've got our 2 outlets in here.
Oh, did you show them the
So,
same color?
outlets. Outlets. Yeah, we can do that when it's on the walls. We're going dark. If you guys don't already know from the thumbnails or from whatever, this is a dark van. So it's the perfect van to build this in because it is black. So any exposed metal will already be darker. So it's just a lot easier to hide that way. But
there won't be much exposed metal.
there's not going to be much. Like, I think the only thing will be right here. All right, that brings us to the end of day 7. We got basically all the walls we need to up inside the van. Scarlett will then paint the walls and you guys get to see what colored paint we went with. So it's going to be pretty exciting day tomorrow. I think we hopefully are going to start on cabinetry as well, which is not too bad. So again, that's day 7, 1 weekend. We'll catch you for day 8 in the morning. All right, beautiful people, welcome back. It is day 8 here. We are officially over the 1 week part. I am starting on some cabinetry. We still have some more stuff to finish up in here in terms of the walls and everything. But that's gonna need to be sanded and painted. And Scarlett likes having stuff to do during this stage because cabinetry is kind of a 1-person job. So I'm gonna leave some of that for her. And then I'm gonna get started on the upper cabinets right now. Took the measurement from here to here and then from here to there. Figured out that there's a 2-inch difference right there. So this is going to be 2 inches wider in the cabinet base. We have this beam right here, which is going to be basically our mounting point for our cabinetry. And yes, that should be good. If you guys are not aware, we build all of our own cabinetry. We've seen it done where you buy cabinets and put them in vans. We're purists when it comes to the cabinetry work, so we just build everything. And we build it using this 1/2-inch birch plywood, which is top choice. We buy it at Lowe's. I know Home Depot has something similar, but I prefer the stuff that comes from Lowe's here. So we got a couple questions on that. But anyway, everything's built out at 1/2 inch, and that's to save weight in the van. We're talking about upper cabinets right now. We're going to have a real long piece that goes all the way down. And this is one of the positive things about building your own cabinets is you can say, all right, I want like a 12-foot cabinet that is these dimensions that really doesn't exist in real life. The best way to do upper cabinets, in my opinion, is to basically get your cutout. So I showed you guys a little bit earlier how I measured for all this, and basically measured side to side from right here and side to side from up at this point right here, and was able to determine what this angle should be. I then cut the 45 because you have a lot of metal beams and stuff that are running down through the van, so you need to be able to clear those. But anyway, basically this will be the divider for every section of cabinets. Off of this, basically all you have to do is cut your bottoms, your backs, your tops, and then the faces obviously will be independent pieces. So once you have this, it's fairly smooth sailing from there, and we're just going to cut basically to the length that we need of everything else. So custom cabinets coming at you. There are going to be 3 upper cabinets, each 28 inches wide, that coincide with the 28-inch wide drawers along the bottom. The upper cabinets need to basically have 3 28-inch sections that fit into that 84-inch or 7-foot space right there. So 3 upper cabinets there. And in the back, we actually have 48 inches almost exactly from this section right here, which will be the end of our cabinets that come down like that, to where they will meet the other cabinets there. One of the things you're definitely going to want to have on hand for some cabinets are these clamps right here. Highly recommend a nail gun. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. This is the Craftsman nail gun. I find that it's a lot easier to nail stuff in and then go back with screws, which we always do. We always screw everything in. Okay, so this will kind of give you a better idea of kind of how it's going to shape up. So essentially you have those middle pieces like I had them put in. You've got the bottom part. One thing I wanted to point out to you guys is when you're cutting the wood, if you do it at half of the angle, so this is a 45 right here, which means if I cut 22.5 angles into this side and then into this side as well as this side, everything will line up kind of flush like that, and we won't have any weird issues. I know in the last fan what I did was a 45 on both sides right here, and then I had to sand and cut down a bunch of stuff, so this will save a little bit of time to do it this way. What I just got done doing is routing out a little line right here, and I did that by just clamping this pine beam down and making sure it was straight across. And this is going to be where our LED strips sit in, and that way they won't get pinched up against the ceiling when we go to mount everything up. So hopefully this will all work out pretty well, and we can basically just seat the LED strips in and then install the whole unit all together.
This is the stuff you guys don't see, a little behind the scenes action. This guy takes a lot of time to plan out everything. So if it seems easy, it's because he puts in a lot of hard work and effort to make these vans as seamless as possible. A lot of early morning hours while I'm still sleeping, right baby?
Yeah.
What are we working on, baby?
Working on the sketch out for the kitchen unit, so similar to what we do with the overheads, just draw everything out to scale and make sure everything's gonna fit. You know, like you always have parameters, like the refrigerator is gonna go in this drawer right here, so we need to make sure that fits. The sink is gonna drop in right here, we need to make sure that's gonna fit in there. Stove top, all that stuff. So just some homework before we get started on making this big boy. Do your homework. I think what I'm going to do is the swivel seat. If you you guys don't know, we're gonna go ahead and convert this front seat into a swivel. Oh man, I don't think you guys can even comprehend how excited I am. So I've been putting this PB blaster on these bolts in the hopes that when I go to pull them off, I won't strip out any, and this is the first ProMaster that we've done that I have not had a very, very difficult time pulling these out. So got them this time around. It's awesome. Swivel seat time. Swivel seat is a no-go. It's half in, but it's missing some pieces that did not come with the link, unfortunately, so that's not going to happen today.
And the roof rack is also a no-go because it didn't come even the second time with the proper pieces. So third time around with the roof rack. Hopefully we got the right thing this time.
A bit frustrating, like back-to-back quality control issues from the manufacturer on both of those items. Doing some tape up right now, getting everything kind of ready to paint, at least this area, the walls and all that. What day is it?
It's day 8. Yeah. We got our upper cabinets done. We are going to paint tonight, at least that is the plan as of right now. We did the tape up job, so everything is taped off. So we shouldn't get any paint in any unnecessary places, hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, we're rocking and rolling. It's day 8, did I say that? Yeah. Swivel seat was not a success, roof rack was not a success. Missing parts, nothing you can do about it. So, we're gonna take the night, we're gonna paint some, and
I don't know if I even talked about this at all today. We trimmed everything, so trimmed all the windows, trimmed out these bed boxes, and all that stuff came out looking pretty good. So I think it's time to paint. You guys haven't seen what paint color we went with yet, I don't think, but it's pretty cool. So should start to give you an idea of what this space is going to look like. Alright people, we forgot to film while we were painting, but you guys know what painting is. This is the color we have gone with. It looks phenomenal. Alright guys, that is the end of day 8 here, so we'll catch you in the morning for day 9. Welcome back, it's day 9. I'm going to take you guys through the cabinetry aspect and kind of start to finish how I build them, how I design them, and stuff like that. Right, Scarlett?
right.
Yeah, Scarlett knows how to build them. But if you're interested in building your own cabinets, I'm going to try to take you guys through a little bit more in depth. We got some requests last time. I'm going to try to take you through the whole process. So let's get started. Last night, we got this whole thing painted in here, and it is looking pretty darn cool, I gotta say. Today we're working on this big kitchen unit that's gonna fill this void here. One of the things that's really important is careful planning at this stage of the game. So you can see here I have the top-down view and the side view of my cabinets. And then one thing I will say that's very, very important is measure all your stuff out. So your sink, your stovetop, your refrigerator, whatever you're gonna put in your cabinet space, really be careful about how that all goes in there, because we've gotten through a couple of these and the refrigerator has not fit, so we've had to like reorder or kind of finesse and add a much tighter fit than desired. So this one I'm going to be very, very careful about leaving enough space for that. There's 3 basic components to building the cabinetry. There is the profile piece right here, which is basically if you were to look at the cabinets from the side, and you'll cut however many of those that you need to divide the space up. So for this one, we're going to do 4 of these. They will be cut almost identically. There's the back, which is in this one just going to be a very long piece with some holes for cable pass through. And then there is the front or face frame, and that is going to be made out of pine. Last time I did 1.5 inch by 3/4 inch face frames. This time I'm going to bring that down a little bit so that it's actually a bit thinner. So I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, let's get into making some cuts here. So typically a face frame would actually be a bit thicker than this. As far as screwing it all together, I'm using pocket holes with the little clamp-on Craig jig. I find that this one is the most versatile. It's also a little bit less expensive than some of the other options out there. So you can see right down here, obviously we only have room to do it on one side. These ones that are 4.5 inches, we could go through with both sides with the pocket holes. But because this is also the top, we're just gonna go in with a finishing screw right there, all the way straight down through. So that is what we are doing right now. So I just did some calculations. It's important to keep in mind that the face frame is going to go on the front of this if you're building your cabinets this way. We have a 1/2 inch wider at the base than we do at the top because the wall does curve slightly on the back of these cabinets and I want them to fit really flush there. Essentially, this is the toe kick right here. You can see that cut out. It's 3.5 inches because there will be a 1/2 inch piece of ply right there. The reason this is so high, if you guys watched our last series, we did 2-inch toe kicks. However, you'll see in a little bit what we're gonna do with that. This is what we're looking at for the profile, and now we're gonna use, of course, the old track saw and cut that out. If you're gonna buy one tool to build a van, get this track saw. This thing is awesome. So we've got one cut out, and now since we already have it, we'll trace it out. If you were cutting all this on a table saw, you'd lose a lot of the extra wood there, so it's a great way to do this. If you are tracing, continue to use the same template, so use the same one so you get consistent results, because otherwise slight discrepancies will compound upon each trace. Anyway, this is what we're looking at for profile right here. I'm going to take it in the van and verify that it's the correct curvature, and then we'll make some more cuts. What we just did here is clamped everything together and made this pass-through, cable pass-through, and more than likely water lines as well, in the same spot on all of the side profile pieces.
A man on a mission. Guys, this is my favorite part of cabinetry because I don't do anything. Hey, I'll be the first to admit I know nothing about cabinetry. I come out here every hour or so, and man, the progress gets better every time, baby.
We're doing like a full back on this one because it'll help keep it really sturdy, and since we didn't insulate the back, or since we didn't put walls down the back, we kind of need to cover all that anyway, so.
We insulated, just to be, we did insulate.
Very well.
We did. Good job, baby.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Okay, so we got this big unit coming together here. One of the advantages to making your own cabinets is that, one, you're gonna save a little bit of money. Typically, like the materials themselves will typically cost less than a fully built cabinet will. Two, you're gonna be able to customize, and that's really the big thing. If you have a factory cabinet, you're not ever gonna be able to manipulate it quite as easily. So that's kind of the main reasons there for building your own cabinetry. If you can learn how to do it, do it. So now we're working on the toe kick. We're gonna do a 3-inch toe kick in this one because I already told you guys we got something special planned for on the other side.
Just called my mom. She is an architect, and she told us if you're interested in a good bench height, she said anywhere from 17 to 18 inches. So we made this one 18. We went at the higher end of that because, again, there will only be a 3-inch mattress on top of this. So that's what's going on. This guy is absolutely chugging along today. This is his second of 2. He got this huge unit done as well, which is our kitchen. Looking spiffy. Pretty impressed. Keep going.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna be day 9. What did we do today?
I didn't do all that much. You did cabinets though.
Yeah, we got the kitchen unit done and the bench at least most of the way started. Cabinets are pretty tedious, so there's a lot to think about. Hopefully we can finish up the bench tomorrow and start on the bed and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to get all that done, and we're gonna go to Lowe's and get some stuff. So
I don't think we've ever been less efficient in our Lowe's trips than this build.
It's got to be like 12 to 15 times going to Lowe's on day 9.
Like, we've been almost twice every single day.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow for day 10 and possibly a new video. If you guys have enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.